Hello there, my Taurus gang. This is Melissa with Enchanted Emerald, bringing you a reading here for the week of February 17th through the 24th of 2023. And out of the traditional Rider-Waite deck for the Friday, Saturday, so today, the 17th and the 18th, we have the Two of Pentacles coming out for you. Now, I really feel as though you could be sitting in an indecisive energy, maybe even weighing the pros and cons of a situation. And I feel as though with this, I see you kind of taking bets, maybe even laughing about it, but you're really kind of taking bets, placing all bets on yourself here, and that you will be the winning person on this. And so I really feel as though this is some emotional turmoil that you could be experiencing, but know that you're putting in the work emotionally, okay? You're not burying feelings, you're working through this. And I think that through this, you're really discovering a lot of your resiliency. And when I talk about this, know that quote, your comeback will be greater than your setback kind of comes to mind, knowing that anything that you've been through is not even going to compare to just how strong you are going to present yourself to the world and claiming all that is meant for you and all of these wonderful things that are coming as a result of all that you've been through. Because you've put in the work to discover yourself and to go through these lessons, and now you're coming on the other side of that, and some really beautiful things are in store for you. So with these tides that are turning, know that you're going to be really surprised to see what's kind of washing up on shore with these tides, okay? Because there's really beautiful things coming out, these treasures that are coming up on the beach as these tides are turning and washing things up for you. Be mindful that you have to kind of be on the lookout for these treasures sometimes, right? It can be hidden in the sand. You have to dig a little bit in order to see things as a treasure, right? So revealing some of these lessons, revealing and seeing some of these signs from the angels, seeing the angel numbers. You have to be on the lookout for those things in order to notice some of these things, to know that you're being guided and know that you're surrounded by love on this path, okay? So Sunday, Monday, the 19th, 20th, we have the Nine of Wands. Now, I will say this is actually the card that came out for today's reading, the Nine of Wands. So I will go ahead and link that video in the description box below so that you can check back in on that if you were interested in watching that reading to see a little bit more in depth of this Nine of Wands. But touching base for you, Taurus, I'm really feeling that this is an energy where you could be longing for something that once was, okay? And you can see that this person's kind of like looking back over their shoulder and seeing that wall that you've built to kind of protect yourself of all the battles that you've been through. I feel as though you kind of cherish those battles that you've been through. You're kind of looking at it in an almost adoring type of way. But there is an essence here of knowing that there is no turning back. There is no way to go back to the past, right? So it's a reminiscent type of energy, but this is what's going to drive you and your gameplay going forward. Okay, this is not your why. This time we're going to be talking about your how. So take lessons from the past in how you move forward. So when we talk about our gameplay, how you're moving forward, how you're dealing with things that are happening around you, know that you have a way with words, okay? This is a time where you might be saying the right things at the right time. You might find your words flowing very eloquently out of you, and you'll be like, whoa, how did that happen? Where did that come from? But you know that you're saying the right things because it's resonating really well with other people and it's hitting just right. And they're like, oh, wow, I didn't even think about that. And it's something that was really important to be said. And so, with this, I think that this is something too that has kind of been instilled onto you as a child, instilled to you as, working all the way up from your childhood, right? Where you always understood and were in tune with others and always listening and actively listening. And what I mean by actively listening is that you were really paying attention to what other people were saying. You weren't really thinking about what do I need to say next or how can I make this person feel better. You were truly engaged and genuinely interested in what they were saying. So you really have a way with people, right? You have this knack with people, this gift and talent to work with others really well. And so when you listen to other people and their struggles and strife, you really have this ability to tap in, to tune in, and to encourage them in a way that no others can. And so I feel like with this, this is really about you helping others and yourself really overcome obstacles and maybe getting around this in a way that you wouldn't ordinarily think about. So as you talk with other people, you guys might get your heads together and overcome and outwit, each other and like have this beautiful dynamic, this beautiful play of, wit and really be able to come up with a really good game plan for each other, for obstacles that you each are going through. And so this is a really good thing, because when I think of this, I think of like that survivor, that outwit, outlast, outplay. And so this is really about playing to your strengths, right? And so this is going to help you to rise up to this occasion, to continue to help others in this way, to live your life unapologetically in that role, and to not be afraid to do so, but to be bold in that. And so I think that, again, one of these strengths is that having that way with people, easily reading others, their body language, how they convey their message. It's all about you anticipating their next move, right? So if you're able to anticipate their next move before they even know their next move, or before they make their next move, this allows you to be able to make a preemptive strike, so to speak, right? So you're going to strike while the iron is hot. You're going to know what you need to do, when you need to do it, to your advantage. And that's how you are going to use your gameplay to play to your strengths in the game of life, right? So if you anticipate that this person might go put in for this job because that would be something that's really good for them, but they don't even see that in themselves, you can help them and say, hey, I think you'd be really great at that. If you see that this person may end up going back to an ex, and you see that this might not be a really good thing, you might be able to intervene and say, hey, I'm just letting you know that I would think that this might be a bad idea for you. Just as a friend, I would like to say, this, and this happened in the past, and I could see how this could end badly for you on an emotional level, right? Just about making that preemptive strike for you, for your gameplay, right? Now, you can also play this to your strengths, to your advantage, whereas you might anticipate that this person may want to go and put in for the same job, say, as you. Now, I'm totally just off the cuff here, but you might be able to strike while the iron is hot and go get your application in for that job before that person, right? Or to know what to say so that you know that you're the best person for that instead of them, right? So that's just something to kind of think about as you're moving forward. Now, moving into Tuesday, Wednesday, the 21st and 22nd, we have the Ace of Swords coming out with the Knight of Wands. Now, the Knight of Wands comes in kind of reckless, kind of fast, impulsive energy, right? And when we talk about the Ace of Swords, that's like our thinking cap is on. And this is about exciting thoughts and conversation. Now, I really feel like there is an energy here for creation. I feel like there could be somebody around you that is really charming the pants off of you with their conversation, really using every tool that they have in their toolbox, pulling out all the stops to really try to make this happen for you and them. And so this is just about having stimulating conversations. I really feel that you find some of these conversations really intriguing. I feel not all of them, right? And you really want all these conversations to just bring in this air of like, I am like hanging on your every word, and I just can't wait to hear what you're going to say next, that kind of thing, right? Now, I do feel that there is some level with this of trickery or an attempt to kind of pull the wool over your eyes in some way or form, some way, shape, or form. I feel that there is a sense of a little bit of a manipulation, whether this is somebody out and out lying. I really feel it's more of an exaggeration, right? And in an attempt to impress you, really is really what I feel with that. And I feel like this is coming in with some quick wit to kind of counteract that. I do feel that you will save your own day here because you're kind of on to them, right? And you can spot this from a mile away. And I think that with this, there is a caution here that your sharp tongue can get you into some trouble, right? I feel that it could create this back and forth energy, and energy you're not wanting to put all of your energy into. So just be mindful when you do want to say something, to say it, to get to the point, to let that person know that that's not okay. Create that boundary, but then don't feed into things that are not necessary to feed into, right? So just know that when you create that boundary, if you were to continue to have that banter back and forth, it's a bit of a power struggle. You're just giving into some sort of a manipulation as well. So, but I do think that with that sharp tongue, I think that you could have a potential to be a little bit critical, right? And, of course, Taurus, sometimes we have no filter and we do spit the truth. And I know that we are loved for that sometimes. We attract the right people for that reason. And then other times it's not well received. So that is just something to be mindful of. Again, not to give into that power struggle. But I think that you see that this person is really kind of putting on a bit of a facade. They're really putting up a front. And you find that they look really silly. They look really silly trying to do this to impress you. You want someone who's real with you. And you want someone who goes beyond surface level. And so looking at this overall, I feel as though you're thinking that aside from the surface level conversation and some of these intriguing conversations, you have to kind of like decipher what's real and what's not, because some of it can be a bit exaggerated at times. You really have to dig for those common interests. So all in all, I feel as though this person's like not even really on your radar. So moving to Thursday, Friday, the 23rd, 24th, we have 4 cards came out, so I let it happen, of course. And we have the Queen of Swords, taking no crap. Moving into 5 of Wands, a little bit of conflict there. Moving into the King of Cups energy, and following it up with the Empress, which I absolutely love the Empress energy. I love to be in the Empress energy, and this is very much an energy of opportunities coming to you, you not having to do much to create a beautiful life. It's just kind of happening as you're in the flow, okay? So I love that. So with this, for the 23rd, 24th, next Thursday, Friday, we have a rowdy, unruly, disorderly type energy kind of coming in with this. You could tell by that 5 of Wands, really. I do feel that it is going to be a time, a couple of days, where you're really going to have to place value on your independence, right? For those couple of days. And I think that particularly within an established relationship, there could be an energy of judgment, right? And I think that, yes, we Taurus have a tendency to want to live a lavish lifestyle. Other people may not understand exactly how we are going to step into that, not sure how we will achieve those things. And I think that sometimes they kind of look at us like, but aren't you putting the horse before the cart kind of thing? And so they feel like we're doing things the wrong way, and they're putting judgment on us. And so I really feel this is about us making plans for all these beautiful big things that are happening in our lives before we're really seeing any of that result manifest for us, or before we're actually taking action to achieve those things. And so, I feel as though there could be people thinking that you are stringing them along, and I really think that this is important to have conversations about the talk of the future, because this is manifesting at its finest when you're looking at the Empress energy. This is about being in that flow and allowing things to happen for you rather than to go out there and try to seek and find that, right? And so I think establishing ground rules is particularly within a relationship, when it comes to finances, and when it comes to your boundaries, when it comes to self-care and having your own time to yourself, that kind of thing. I think that that's really important to establish a deep mutual respect for each other and finding that common ground, particularly when it comes to knowing each other's values, because I feel as though there is a relationship within the energy here, Taurus, that is really misaligned when it comes to values. And that's not to say that this relationship can't work. I think that there are values that you have that this person doesn't have, and vice versa. And so I think it's about compromise, and I think it's really about seeing each other where you are at and why these things are important, and then respecting that. And once you around and seeing how that's all playing out, there will be a lot less conflict around that. So that rowdy energy, right? Like that stirred up, fired up, I am gonna fight for what I believe in type energy can kind of quell a bit, because you will have had this established ground rules and kind of know each other and why that's important. Because particularly if you are running from an energy operating on an energy of the Empress, of I'm going to manifest these things and act as if, then it's really difficult sometimes for others to understand that, because that is how we manifest, is acting as if it's already happened and just going with the flow, to allow those things to show up for us. So outcome advice for the Hierophant in reversed. Okay, so with this, I'm really feeling though, it's important to be mindful not to judge yourself, judge others. And I feel as though this kind of leaves a lot to speculation here in terms of you aren't going to have all of the answers that you're seeking out of this reading, unfortunately. But I think that some of the questions that you're having will be answered in time as things kind of play out for you. I do feel like this is leaving room for this beautiful creation to kind of unfold for you, and with that, allowing the room for magic to kind of show up for you, and seeing how beautiful the process is and how it unfolds. And so this is a bit unconventional, and kind of you owning the fact that this is a non-traditional type role that you're in, and how you want things to be a bit unconventional, because you're here to live that extraordinary life and not something that's ordinary. You're embracing that in all avenues and aspects. And I think with that, this is really about seeing the process and embracing the process, experiencing that process, because it's exposing you to those different values, that different culture, whatever that may be. And I think throughout that, there's a whole learning avenue here available to you, and opening you up to new opportunities in that Empress space. So beautiful energy here for you, Taurus. I do so hope that it resonates. As always, if you're interested in your own personal reading, I'd love to be able to do that for you. Please don't hesitate to reach out. Let me know if you're interested in that. You can email me at enchantedemeraldny@gmail.com, or you can go ahead and book a session on the Square site pinned in the description box below, or you can go ahead and let me know. You can hit me up in the messenger on my Facebook, Enchanted Emerald. As always, I will be back with another read for you guys again soon. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care.